Howdy ho, folks. Howdy. Hi. Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great great Wednesday. I hope you're having a great Friday night. I hope you're having fun. If you're watching me, you're probably not doing that. But if you're watching me, I appreciate it. How are all of y'all doing? Today marks a red letter day. I rid myself, I guess, in a way. Not that they were really weighing me down anymore, but I passed on, I guess is a good way to say. I passed on the bulk Magic the Gathering cards that I had collected over the course of actively playing that game. I sold somewhere around 25,000 Magic the Gathering cards today and kept just the ones that I actively want. Also, I need to try something. I don't even think that... Okay, so I guess that one that worked, that works. The command, yeah, there we go. Which one's rage again? And there we go. And then you say breathe. Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, I'm just checking some of my commands. Anywho. A Night Warper, nice to see you. But yeah, I did a big thing. I sold all those cards in bulk, got them out of my house, put an official end to that chapter of my life. I kept the Magic card. I love the game. The game's great. I think it's a fantastic game. I kept the cards that I wanted to keep, that I actively used, got rid of the rest of them. And then to celebrate, I bought a brand new pack from the newest thing that's out there. And I was rewarded by getting a mythic rare, legendary, holographic card worth about $30 to $35 that I would never use even if I was still playing the game. So I took that as a lovely little sign to tell me that I in fact made the correct choice and should not fall into that trap ever again. I'll probably play Magic again, but if I'm just really, I fell really deep into the buying packs thing as opposed to buying the card that I wanted and just using those cards. So that was a dark age, the dark age, but it's over now. It's over. It's gone. I just spend all my money on Everdell. We're probably going to be playing that tomorrow. I officially, as of Wednesday, I have all of the Everdell expansion editions in the collector's edition version of those expansions and the main game where available. Find Magic cards? Dude, you should be able to get them at Walmart. Magic is considered the most popular trading card game in the world. I believe followed by Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I believe followed by Pokemon in that order. They're very easy to find, and you should be able, honestly, if you look up, if you find any comic, if you have any type of comic book store or something similar to that, any type of nerd store that's related to board games, figurines, things like that, they're gonna have Magic cards. And if you want to play that game, Pokemon, apparently, I've learned while I was down there, somebody mentioned, apparently Pokemon is having an upswing right now. The trading card version of Pokemon is having a tick up. Which I'm going to be honest, I legitimately a while ago, a few years ago, was when I first found out that professional Pokemon card playing was a thing, and it was shortly thereafter that I discovered that people professionally play the Pokemon portable games. And that one blew my mind, that there's full-on championships and stuff of people who, with, they show up with their 3DS and they fucking play Pokemon. And there's there's ban lists, there's restrictions, there's all sorts of stuff related to how that works. And that boggled my brain. I looked at that and I said, you guys, what? And then I watched some of it and kind of wanted to shoot myself in the foot because it was kind of dumb to watch. There was a shitload of not a lot happening. I went on there and I opened up the finals of whatever I just said, professional Pokemon tournament, whatever. And the first big thing that came up was the finals of one of their regional tournaments or something or whatever. And I started watching these two play. It was I assume an American guy playing against, I believe, a Japanese player. But for the first off, they both had. So apparently, you only use 4 Pokemon in these, apparently. And to start off, when I was watching this, 3 out of the 4 Pokemon that each of them could have was the same. So they were each running the same team except for 1 Pokemon. Which that was fascinating. But basically all they ended up doing was, they were just for 15 minutes bluffing each other. That's all it was. They would put in they started out their thing with their opening play because they played as duels. So 2 Pokemon each side. And what they did is basically they just, for 15 minutes, would recall and swap out a Pokemon every time to get the best kind of setup against the other person. But then the other person will also do that as well. And so I'm dead serious. It was about 15 minutes of swapping Pokemon, waiting for somebody to decide not to swap and hope to call that bluff that they're not going to swap, and then attack them and get that critical hit or get the super effective hit, get a stab move on. And it just and don't get me wrong, I love Pokemon. I own damn near every of the main series of games. I have at some point, or nearly do currently, own or have owned all of those games. I'm the guy that goes in and buys the one version of it, and then a week later comes back into the store and buys the other version of it because I've finished the first one and I don't want to get rid of my team. I think I have Alpha Sapphire as a physical copy, and then I believe I have Omega Ruby as a physical copy, and then also have Omega Ruby as a digital copy. I've bought that game that many times. X and Y, I think it's similar. I think I own X and Y physically, and then Y I have an additional digital copy that I keep around too, because I don't want to ever restart certain playthroughs of my game. I'm that guy. The only thing basically shy that I haven't done in those games is get the cloud save that you can do through Pokemon to save all of your Pokemon credentials. But yeah, I love it. Watching professional Pokemon was not exciting to me at all. Watching professional Pokemon card playing was baffling. Because you can do, in Pokemon, you can do as much on a turn as you can do. Your turn ends when either you decide to or you physically cannot do any more. There's no restrictions really on that kind of stuff. It's pretty bonkers. And there's almost no kind of there seems to be very little to no interruptive actions that your opponent can take. So you just go. And so I started watching that, and this person was playing what I have to assume is the Pokemon equivalent of a control deck, which are the decks that seek to just own cards and then control what your opponent does, or they are also referred to as permission decks, where basically everything somebody does, they have to look at you and ask permission, more or less. Like, okay, can I cast this thing? And the person's going to look at their cards and be like, no, and cast a counter spell or something like that. That's kind of how they go. And that's what I assumed this was, because all this guy did is he got his hands and he starts. And he plays a card that lets him, like, draw cards. So he draws some cards. And he plays a card that lets him look for a card. So he looks for a card. And he just does this. He cycles this routine non-stop. And he goes through his deck on his one turn, I swear, about 8 times. And drew what felt like half of it. It was bananas. That was... Granted, I don't know much about how Pokemon actually plays as the card game, but I felt that since I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And I played Magic, that I might be able to grasp some of the intricacies of what they're doing. No, nothing. Nada. I kind of miss Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes. It got weird. And when I say I miss Yu-Gi-Oh!, I miss Yu-Gi-Oh! Like 1. Because I played it when it first came out. And when Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out, the card game, it was KISS. It was keep it simple, stupid. There wasn't really hardly any fancy shit that went around in there. And now whenever I look at the cards, I try to understand what the effects are doing, and they can be kind of chunky. Oh, whatever. You're here for me, aren't you? And so like I like old Yu-Gi-Oh! I like the Yu-Gi-Oh! That I played when I was in middle school and stuff. I always liked the show initially. That was one that I liked. I think at one point I had collected 3 pieces of Exodius. Felt so cool. I still do today. It's just in the back room. I have a misprint Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. If you know anything about when that happened, when they were initially printing off Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, what ended up happening is they had a fault in their line at some point. And what it would do is it would accidentally put a test run card in a pack. So similar to when you have a printer and you run a test page through the printer and it just prints out a bunch of jank bull crap where it's a bunch of dots or whatever, and they run each of the main color spectrum. That's what it would do. And you'd get a card that had basically that error screen from the old TVs where it was just vertical lines of color. So like yellow, blue, red, green, and it would be like that. And people thought there was some type of uber nonsense rare card out of nowhere. And it was selling on eBay. Like when I first looked, like the first one, the lowest cost one you could buy on eBay was $300, upwards to $1,000, because people thought it was something amazing, which is not. It was just a trash card. It was an accident that got put into a pack. And I have one of those. I think it's hilarious. I love it. I used to have good Pokemon cards. I did at one point have a legitimate Charizard, one of the early Charizards, but then my brother tricked me and talked me into trading it to his friend for a dark Charizard, which was trash garbage. I was abused. I was abused through TCG. TCG abusal. Anywho. Yeah, like the old show is perfectly like, kind of like the first little series of it. And even I think the second season, I'm not entirely sure if I'm saying how they're broken down correctly, but there's like in my mind there's the chunk where it starts out and then they go to the battle island and he plays against the Pegasus, whatever his name, the guy that has the Millennium Eyeball, and he cheats. So to me that's chunk one, and then immediately following that is the one where they have the hologram system where it's on their arm and you play on your arm, and that one got like uber anime because there was a lot of swippy swiping and throwing your hand up and shit like that. It was awesome. I had since be gone with all of the Pokemon cards I had as a kid. I don't know when I got rid of them. I don't know how they got rid of. I can't remember. I have a deck of Pokemon cards, and I only got that because I have nieces and nephews who play it, and I got that so that on occasion, if there's a chance, I can play Pokemon with them. Because it's important to encourage them to do something like that, because Pokemon's better than drugs, kid. And that's the heart of the matter. Say no to alcohol. Play Pokemon. Put down the crack pipe. Pick up the Yu-Gi-Oh! But not Magic. God, that's a dark hole. I spent so much money on Magic cards, and I got so little in return. That's what I mean. That was just bad investment. Bad investment on my part. But I like I said, I do really still like the game. I do have Magic the Gathering Arena. I pick that up every now and then. I like doing that because it's streamlined, it's easy. Pokemon much better than drugs. But no kidding, like even now, like I'm serious. I'm 29. I'm gonna be 30 in a couple of months. I take those Pokemon games and I lay in my bed and I play the shit out of them. I run through them over and over and over again. I love them. They're fantastic games. Sun and Moon are a little bit crunchy because they took kind of a big leap. Sword and Shield brought it back a little bit. They tried to keep the feel of it, but brought it back a little bit. I am uber excited about the Diamond and Pearl remakes because they didn't make them in the style that they did Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon. They did them more akin to the grid system, closer to the way X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were done. In my opinion, Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby is where they should have stopped tweaking with the graphics. I think that like the chibi look that they made with those ones, and the way that you could go off grid if you use the joystick but stay on grid if you wanted, and use the D-pad, and then they had some of their dungeons were in, basically all the dungeons were in grid form. I think the way they designed those games is the best way they've designed any Pokemon game to date. And so because the Diamond and Pearl look like they're harking back to that kind of style, I'm very excited about those, and I'm super stoked to get them and play them. I might even stream them. Who knows? Because I know the way they work, so they'll be much easier to do, say, a Nuzlocke on those if we want to try that. It'd be a lot easier to do that. I went deep on Y. I went pretty deep. I looked at it. Had actually been a long time since I played it, and then I was going back and just playing Pokemon games again because I wanted to. And I looked and I was like, oh, I have this. Here's my physical copy of Y. I'll just pop that in and play on that one. And I popped it in, and apparently that was the copy because I totally forgot. That was where I went deep and caught a Mewtwo and was training a Mewtwo to kick some overhyped ass with. Also, Mega Evolutions was the best addition to any of the. It was the best tweak to the Pokemon games. Z powers are, I mean, yeah, they look cool, but they're not as cool as Mega Evolutions. And then Dynamaxing is just fucking lame. Like, it's really just dumb. Because all it does is makes the Pokemon really big. And gives and alters their moves to do some other special kind of moves. It's so dumb. I much rather have a limited number of Pokemon that can Mega Evolve. I'd much rather play that. And it's so much cooler. I hope they get out of that and go back to Mega Evolutions. I hope that it was the best one. It was really cool. Probably like play the game, right? Maybe I should switch. Maybe I should go find Pokemon. But yeah. My opinion. While they're fantastic games, X, Y, Alpha Sapphire, and Omega Ruby are, in my opinion, the best designed versions of the games that they've ever done. I think that's where they should have stopped when it came to graphically updating the games. They should have just stuck with that look. And I'm glad that they more or less are going back to that with the new remakes that they're coming out with. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the best. Like I loved I loved Silver and Gold and Crystal. I remember having Crystal and playing the crap out of that too. Those are amazing, and the remakes they did are still, in my opinion, the best Pokemon games they've ever made. And like the only way they can make that better is again going to the style of X and Y and remaking and remaking those games again in the style of X and Y. Okay, that's interesting that you decided to do that. That's, not something I would go for, but hey, who am I to tell you how to live your life? Make sure I've got. Oh, I can. Oh, is that stupid? Oh, I need to get rid of that. Hold on. That text doesn't need to be there. And I think I want to be on game capture. Is it still set? Yeah, there we go. Okay. I had to reset everything from story night. Well, then you just, you don't go down the route of desperation. Wash a bowl. Let's see. Is there nothing down here? This is just nothing. Okay, cool. So then that one way to proceed is the one way to proceed. All right, we got side quests. Well, yeah. Like, they're gonna sell it at full price. If you want to look for specific cards, they'll probably have them, but you'll probably be able to get them online. Like, look on Amazon and eBay, and you might be able to get a better price for things like that. The Barrow Downs.
The Barrow Downs are filled with ancient tombs. What do you know of them, Elf?
These tombs were made by the fathers of men in the depths of time.
That's
They were
awkward.
sacred to the men of Arnor, and they too buried their dead here until their kingdom fell to the Witch King.
These hills have an evil reputation in the folklore of the Shire and Bree. Rangers travel here all...
That FX volume, I can't hear a damn thing. I cannot hear them talk over that lightning that's in the background.
without incident. Still, I feel a sense of unease. We must stay alert.
I feel unease. Nice lightning effects. Oh, baby, we're going in. Oh, we're going in. A camp! A campsite.
Ranger, what have you found? Rangers camped here perhaps 2 or 3 days past. These footprints could easily be those of Lewin and Kalarin.
Can you tell where they may have gone from here?
The tracks lead
Oh, hold
into
on.
the downs.
Then we should follow them.
Oh, I leveled up. Didn't even know. Let's get my stamina up a smidge. Get that life flowing. And then we'll bring up our power just a little bit. Is that... Woo! I leveled up again! Or I didn't confirm. That seems more likely. I'm just whacking like a monster. Well, now I'm straight up dual hand build. In such a hard and fast way that you couldn't even imagine. What about the reeds? Us. Oh, well, let's just go do that right now. Hold on. Will it let me? Can I just leave? I have your Thelis. King's foil, they call it. I haven't read them. I've been meaning to read them. The original trilogy is perfectly fine. They're good movies. The Hobbit the Hobbit films that they did, I mean, I guess they're fine too, but they are CG overload is the issue there. That's kind of the problem I drew from those. Also, they are a bit from what I understand, they have a bit more of a deviation from the actual storyline of the books than the original movies did. My brother told me, because the main antagonist in them, the big white orc, he's actually just dead. Like, he's not alive to chase them down and stuff. So that's kind of a big thing. And I believe the elf girl that shows up in it, that's got red hair, I believe she does not even exist, full stop. She does not exist in any of the books, if I remember right. So yeah, they took quite a few liberties with the Hobbit ones, and like I said, very CG.
No natural fog. The air has grown so cold.
Like almost near uncomfortable amounts of CGI. Aha! Fuck your... Ah! Disgrace the dead.
There is an evil will behind this mist.
The way is shut. It was made by those who are dead. Oh yeah? How about this? Ugh! Is this your gravestone? Suck it, Grandpa! Can I shoot these? Worth it. I got plenty of arrows. Screw you guys. Oh my god. Zombies. Get in it! Get in hard! There's no time to waste! Ow! Ah, I was forgetting how to do. Yeah! Yeah! Wah! Ah, within the sphere of light. What? Who gave you whatever that thing was that you're shooting there, dude? My dwarf buddy's got like a shotgun. Oh, my health's up. I can move. Plunderer's Morning Star, huh? You don't say. Are they still creeping, crawling all around? Champion only. Oh, so Farron's a champion, huh? I'm no champion. Deal breakers.
Was that a troll?
Nah. I don't know if there necessarily is.
What creature is that?
I don't think I get too overly worried about that stuff. I think one of the big, I guess a pet peeve that I do have is similar to what happened to Transformers, where it's just kept going. It just didn't stop. Ugh! That kind of thing is, yeah, it's just like, but then generally most of the time, yeah, I don't think there's necessarily a specific thing that I could generally call and say, well, I'm not going to see it because of that. Most of the time, it's more of a case of I look at it and say, that doesn't look interesting to me. And that's what dictates it. I do want to see, like, I really want to see Mortal Kombat, even if it's bad, but because the original ones were bad, but hilariously bad, and I love that. There are some things where I see it and I think that I would rather they just didn't remake it.
We strike as one.
Well, I know about that. I'm just not going to watch that at all. I'm not going to watch that because He-Man is just kind of garbage in general. Like, you can pick better things to try to remake. And then, see, that's one of the things, though, that I would definitely look at and say, why? That's where I would go with that. Is I would say, why did you feel the need to remake He-Man? What story are you going to be telling me with freaking He-Man? So that tends to be more of what it is I'll look at it and say, I'm just not interested in that at all. I just don't care for that. And then, of course, usually you can just look at a glance, you can be like, well, that sucks. For instance, looking at what the Ninja Turtles turned into, I could tell you at a glance, that sucks. Not that the original ones were that great, but I mean, holy crap, the weird everything being kind of CGI and looking like it's made of clay cartoon system that's been going on, it needs to stop. Just I see that way too much, and it drives me nuts, because it just looks so god-awful.
I recognize these signs. A ranger has left a hidden cache here.
Yeah, like, there's another one for you just off the bat. Like, how many times do you need to remake freaking Superman? Because Superman's too boring. Superman suffers from him being too good, and therefore being boring. And it's pretty lame. You know, yes, Batman is a billionaire and he has everything for him, but he suffers from a lot. He lost his parents, all right? He has a troubled childhood. Yeah, I know about that. Probably not going to watch it. I mean, generally, I probably wouldn't have watched it anyway. It's still... Not to sound like an ass, but they are still cartoons that are meant for children. And so it's very difficult for me to watch them and be entertained in any way anymore. I just can't do it. Like the only one really that's left is when I was a kid, my favorite show was Dragon Ball Z, and I will watch that again and again because I got the nostalgia goggles. And granted, I know it's not perfect. It has a lot of filler, and there's a lot of janky stuff in it, but I still love it.
As long as there is a chance they still live, I won't give up the search.
However, like remakes of other cartoons, I just cannot give two shits about them. Hey, I'm doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, that's fine. It's definitely not going to be for me. It's going to be made for children, and so it's going to have a lot of dumb stuff in it. I guess the main issue I have is that it's me personally. It's not necessarily anything wrong with the show. It's thus in situations where I look at it and I go, why are you not doing this absolutely obvious solution, you absolute shitheads? And that drives me nuts. Or just things that just, why didn't you just do that? Nice. Ugh! Yeah. Yeah. Slice and dice, baby. Yeah. That's kind of my feelings on it. It's usually me. I'm the guy to try to put that into perspective. To try to put it in perspective what I'm trying to say about how I feel about things and why it's mostly related to my personality is I'm the guy that goes on and when somebody puts a poster on Facebook or some social media and it's some inspirational thing, I'm the guy that gets on there and says like your grammar's off. Or I say, well, why wouldn't you just do this? I'm the asshole who gives the really simple fixes to people like trying to be mysterious or whatever, and or one that I saw recently that one of my friends said, and I hadn't jumped on him because I felt like I needed to try to be better, was it was a thing talking about how people will lie to your face, say they're not lying or whatever, and but they wrote it in a way so that it's said they be lying, they acting like they ain't lying, but they still be lying, and that drove me nuts. It's just, I really wanted to say, why wouldn't you just say they are lying, as in THEY''RE, say they're lying. Or you could avoid saying this entire group of things that you just wrote and just said they're liars, and that would sum up the entire thing. I get overly annoyed by crap like that. And I know it's pointless, It's utterly pointless for me to be annoyed by anything like that, but I get annoyed by it. My saving grace is that after many sessions of counseling, as I was working through with my veterans counselor, he helped me identify points of life where he helped me give me perspective to try to understand and identify situations where getting upset was not necessary. After coming back from Afghanistan, that was a major problem I had, is that I had anger problems out the wazoo. I got so furious at just about any little fucking thing. And that was a big issue for me because I would get pissed off at people for very little things. And that was not good. That was not healthy. So, and I would get mad at people on the internet. Why are you being an idiot? And I was just an angry Facebook person. And he helped me get to the point where, of course, it's not just related to social media, but because it was a broader thing, but that was a thing that would often would often manifest itself in a way. And so that's why. So nowadays I look at it and I sit down and I think for a while and I go, is this worth even saying anything? And then if it is it worth trying to be serious about what I'm saying? Probably not. And so I mostly only interact in those ways with my good friends who I know, because they in turn know how I am as a person, because they've lived with me for years, effectively. And then it's funny and I can make a joke. But before I would say so many stupid things on the internet without thinking. It was bad. It's a bad habit. I always try to think. Always try to think. And if you don't think you've got anything good, you should probably look up some more. It's not that if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all, because you can, you can actively voice that something is in fact bad. Not really like there's gonna. How many good things can you say about the Holocaust, to be honest? So yeah, but generally, instead, it's if you feel that you have nothing good to say, it's not that you should not say anything at all. It's that you should probably investigate. You should probably learn why you don't have anything to say about a topic. So there you go. Or some more philosophical way of explaining what I just said. A lot of it should be a lot of it is like political stuff too. It's just if you don't agree with X political idea, don't just say that's fucking stupid. You guys are whatever pansies or whatever synonym they're using for whichever party you're talking about at any given point. Take a second and then go and look up that side of why. Look up the side of the story that's from their end, and then look at the side of the story from your own end and try to identify in yourself why you don't disagree with it. And frankly, you might find out that you don't necessarily disagree with it, that it doesn't actually matter. That's one that I've found a lot of people need to take a peek at is does that actually matter to me? And I think that's one of the reasons we have a lot of political dissidents in our nation today, is that it's people have gotten into a mood of very deeply into the mood of just because it came from X party and I'm not necessarily associated with that means it's bad. When most of the time it actually doesn't matter to you at all. it that's what I found. Is just so many things you could easily look at and say, why does that even matter to you? And the person would just not be able to actively identify a good reason as to why they are upset about some policy made by some political person. Like, why does it matter? Yeah. I was really excited when it was starting to look like that one of the political parties was going to collapse. And I still hope it really does. I really hope it does. Because initially it was looking like it was going to be the Democratic Party. But now it's looking like it's the Republican Party. And I really hope they do. Because we need an alteration here. We definitely need one of the paradigm shifts in our government. They happen every now and then, but they're very few and far between. And I think we need one to happen. And I desperately think we need to have one happen that opens the gates for actually having multiple parties, that instead of two. I think we need to get out of the two-party system. I think we need at least 3. We just enough, that allows people to go, well, you know what, it's not just this or that, it could be this, that, or this. That's what I hope. I hope that happens. Because I kind of, like, in my personal opinion, I think either party at their height for any given person probably represents somewhere around 60% of the actual values that a given constituent believes in. But the issue is that somehow aforementioned constituents are now in a rut where they believe that the political party that they are associated with represents all of their values, which they don't. They just don't. So it really, I mean, if you're ever in school or if you're in college, or if there's an option in high school or whatever, take a political science class, just learn about it. Just make sure you understand generally how the system works. It's very important. It's like the importance of having a base ground understanding of what the laws in the country, how they affect you, and how your rights, like knowing the Bill of Rights is pretty important, and knowing how law enforcement and government may interact with you within those systems. It's very important. Like, mostly you should, more or less for that, you should know what police forces are legally allowed to and not legally allowed to do in relation to you and their job. All you have to do, to be honest, all you have to do is vote with your heart. And remember that you don't just have to vote for the president. You can vote for as many people as you want. Sign up for, like, mail-in ballots and stuff, and you'll just get them. You'll just show up in the mail. That's what happens. Most of the time, I don't even know there's like there's something. I get them for, it'll be like council members and stuff. And I still do them. I'll take the time to just figure out who they are at the very least, and just, do something. But it's very important. It's kind of some people might think it's a bit of an ideological thing to say, but it is your right to vote, and you should. I believe you should never not vote. I don't think not voting ever does anything good. Because even if you say it's like in a sign of protest, There's 350 million people in this country. And in the last election, we had the biggest turnout of voters ever in the nation's history, ever. And, you know, you'd have to make the amount of people you'd have to have not vote to make it actually make somebody actually feel it is in the millions, really, on the grand scale. And so I really don't think not voting ever really does anything good, besides just, yeah. It's just kind of like a give up, in my opinion, It's like, well, you had a chance to try and affect change in a way that you wanted, that you believed was betterment, but you just decided not to actually do anything. That's kind of my opinion on that. Other people think differently of it, and they're allowed to. It's up to them. I take a lot of it from my mom, who's from Denmark, and she's not allowed to vote. And she desperately wishes that she was allowed to vote. And she tells, usually around the time when this kind of stuff happens, she'll tell us frequently that she gets very upset whenever she hears about somebody who says something along the lines of, well, I'm not going to vote, why did it matter, and stuff. And she says, like, no, you should be doing that. That's your whole deal. Yeah. But in the end, vote for... Just look at yourself honest. Take an honest to God look in the mirror and say, what actually do I value in the person who I want to hold this political office? Like, for example, for me, generally, I don't necessarily want the president to almost ever be a real politician. On that note, I did not vote for Trump either of the times. However, I thought it was a good thing that somebody that was not actively a politician ran for the office and actually acquired the office. Despite him being just hilariously a train wreck of a president, more or less. It was, I believe it was a very important thing that happened, because a lot of people needed to, I believe, be shown that our options are not limited to the people who are in the Senate. As generally, I don't want people who are senators, or even more so, representatives ever running for presidency, especially out of their office seat. I hate that. I honestly, if I could, one of the things, A, term limits for Congress people, and B, they're not allowed to run for president if they're already in office in Congress, in my opinion. Like, I feel like that's kind of bullshit. But yeah. Because my main view on the president is that that's the person who's supposed to lead the nation. That's the person we're asking to be a leader. And being a leader is a lot different than being a representative. And so that's what I generally look for. Is I look for somebody who I think will do a good job as a leader, who's going to make hard, definitive, situational, and long-term decisions that are going to do the best that they can possibly do. Rather than the decisions that will do the best for X people. Like, that's probably one of the main reasons a lot of people think that when somebody gets in office, they go, well, now everybody that's going to be Democrat is going to be, like, for now. Say now, everybody's, well, the Democrats are the only ones who are going to have good lives for the next 4 years in America, because because the Democrats currently control the government. And that's kind of an idea that stems from political entities running and working in a harder fashion to satisfy their voter base over and above doing what should be considered the correct and best for all path. Because that's what it is. It's just like, you know, the president is, because when like, granted, I didn't vote for Biden either. I voted for Joe. I thought that would be awesome. I thought she had good ideas, and I thought she would do good work. And I definitely felt that it was very much so the time where we definitely need to be saying, hey, we can have something else. I mean, we don't need to go with just the two. So, yeah. But even so, where he took the office and he, you know, I dearly hope my hope was that he dearly would stick to the his spoken rhetoric, I guess, in a way, because it's more or less what it is, about being a president for everyone. Because that's what, in my opinion, that's what the president's supposed to be, regardless. But instead, for the past little while, we've just had presidents who are presidents for the Republicans, presidents for the Democrats, and that's what we've had. And we need to stop having that. Most of all, I'm looking forward. I'm hoping he can get. I'm hoping he can get this infrastructure plan to work out well. Because my God, does the U.S. need an infrastructure reboot? Like, for hell's sakes, it's trash. It's bad in a way that we have no excuse for it being bad. Really, no excuse.
I need healing. Power needs our aid.
Yeah, see? There you go. Look for the person that's gonna do right by what you believe is right.
Let's get back to it.
And also be a strong-willed enough person to admit when something isn't necessarily right. Yeah, like that's what. But yeah, again, I believe at any given point, the Democratic or the Republican Party, on a good day, actively represents roughly 60% of what people actually think they want them to be doing. Aside from that, I really don't think that they actively. I really don't think that people actively believe, or should believe, excuse me, that that their representatives are actually doing something for them all the time, every time. And because they're just not. It's damn near impossible when it comes to only having two parties, because there's a shitload more stuff than two parties can properly handle on their own. Or see, and then if you believe that nobody is actively making that change, then you yourself are perfectly within your rights to get up and say, all right, I'm gonna try to fix this shit. And you go out and you try to fix it. Make the effort. Everybody's allowed to have a shot. I just drank some booze. Can you just drink that? Is that like a permanent buff? Oh no, no, that's temporary. Yeah. Yeah. There's something else on my mind that I forgot to say. Yep. Thank you for stopping by. Man, when you get there, just remember, vote with your heart. Vote for what feels right. Alright, time to get in here. Time to do some work. Man, there was something on the tip of my tongue that I was gonna say, and I totally skipped it. You think that's what they're really thinking? They're zombies, for hell's sakes. Woo! Ah! Alright, you guys need to stop shooting me with the arrows. Ah! These boys are hardy. Ha ha. Blockbreaker. Gotta get them archers. They're wrecking us. Ugh!
We strike as one.
Hiya! Don't worry, I've got them.
This will strike you down.
Aha! No, that's struggling. Just stay dead. Don't get back up. You don't get back up. Who's this asshole? Who's this nearly headless Nick Jackwad? Clear the tomb. I've not found any secrets. Is my sword? Can I? Where's my ring? Why isn't my ring on? God damn it. Oh, my sword has a socket in it. I should definitely put that in. Where's that ice thing? What? I thought that one was melee weapon? Is my sword not a melee weapon? Alright. So you can just... What the hell? Oh, it doesn't have a... What did I look at that had one? I was just looking at that had a hole in it. Oh, it's these boots. Alright. I don't think I have a gem for boots, for armor. Holy crap, I'm getting my butt whooped by those archers again! Ow! Oh, there's like 50 of them!
I'm nearly finished.
Ah,
Take refuge here.
yes, please! Where is it? Where the hell is it? You didn't do it! You suck! Sneak attack. Stupid bodies. I think this is about as far as I got. I remember this place being kind of a pain in the butt. But then again, I wasn't min-maxing back then. As I am now. Move! Time to loot. Loot stream. Well, what's up here? Ooh, more gloves. Oh, even better gloves. Even better version. Wait, what's this? Piles, darn it. You just things. Oh, baby. Is that a good hammer that I would give to my dwarf friend? Seems pretty bland.
My brother Ranger has left us some supplies.
Oh, another great sword. It's the same one I've got. Oh, I was hoping it'd be a version that has a socket in it. That'd be cool. All right, back down. Somebody's playing a really fart sounding trumpet. It's a tuba! Oh God, is it a tuba? And this place sucks. Why did we come here again? I hope that's a way to go home really quick right there. This. Oh, thank goodness. You know, I'm not surprised we got wrecked by the freaking riders. I mean, look at this place. Kind of janky and shitty. Alrighty, who wants to buy my baubles?
Are you in need of supplies? I have a...
Here is just all of this. Sell unessential items. There we go. Yes. How is that essential in any way? Just sell it all. Come on. What do you got? What do you got going on here, bud? Ooh. Chieftain's war sword. Don't say. I saw green numbers. Boom.
Are you in need of supplies?
Let's sell. Sell it! Sell it! Sell it all, damn it! I don't want to get rid of my marksman boon yet. It's kind of really good. Oh. You have any of these pants that...
Does your gear need repair?
Possibly. I need repairs. It need repairing. Why did I... That guy sold me a sword that needed repairing. That's kind of bullcrap, if you ask me. Alright? It's kind of bullcrap that you gave me a sword that wasn't perfect. Alright? Alright? This was fucking used, man. You didn't tell me. Alright, cranky old lady, I got your bush.
Let me see what you have found. Yes, this is indeed Athelas. Now, according to the old law, all I need to do is add these leaves to boiling water. Let Elrond breathe in these fumes.
And it worked. And it worked.
Solana. And how can this be?
Does anybody else want to point out that the village healer didn't fucking think about that, and it took my dumbass coming in and saying, "Have you thought of a poem?"
Not all a dream, was it?
I am afraid not. But don't concern yourself with that now. You are safe. Solana has saved you.
Mine was the knowledge, but Eridan found the herb that saved you, at great risk to his life.
Great
I owe you my life.
risk, Elrond.
Please, let me show my appreciation. My weapons were made in Lost Numenor in the distant past.
A noble gift. Thank you. Rest now and recover your strength. Farewell to you both.
Choice reward from Elrond. Fucking choice, man. Choice shit. Is it a one-handed sword? It's a one-handed sword. So. Hand axe. I'll probably just take the staff, actually. That's probably the best thing to take. Because I don't want the sword. I don't want it. It's a one-handed sword. I'm two-hand build. Freaking... Not gonna use that one-handed sword. No, I ain't no dex build. I'm strength build.
Thank you for finding the means to save Elrond's life.
Captain. What?
If the Whites have arisen, then Lewin and Kalaran may have run afoul of them.
Living or dead.
I will find them. Give me a moment. I gotta go get Sippy. Alright, I'm back. Now let's get back in the fight. Very good. And so... anew. Quickly! Break their stuff! Get him! Get him in the face! Get him in the face! Why are they so angry?
Let us stand and fight together!
Woo! Ugh, break his rocks! They give him power, perhaps, maybe a little bit. Woo!
Take you all.
Help. I got it. She's gonna be the best one for range stuff. I need to protect her. Oh wait, that didn't work. Son of a bitch! And ooh! Come down here and fight me, where I can put my sword in your back. Ow. Ow. Hey! I'm gonna get that one. Come on. Woo! Oh, baby. You ready for the pain? Oh. Ah! Easy money. Easy money, chat. Easy money.
Take cover within this sphere of light.
Oh, they'll save me a health potion. Sure thing. Yeah, just hang out. All right, onward. Baron, get in the bubble. What are you? What are you trying to? You just trying to show off? Doopy doopy doop doop
If
doo.
I read the signs right, Lewin and Kalaran fought a battle here as well. And look here, the broken shards of a ranger's sword. I know this blade. It belonged to Kalaran.
And there's blood.
Your comrades were here. And where are they now?
The tracks show where two bodies were dragged to the entrance of that large barrow.
They're so dead. Ooh.
This tomb makes my blood run chill. This is no place for living men. Let's find my friends. Let's hope we're not too late.
Yeah, this is that too. Ooh, hello.
Signs are clear. Rangers were once here. They left some useful items.
Are these in fact useful items? Ah. Oh, those are a lot better. Oh, I think I have to take them. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. It was weird to let me keep looking at it. Is that just a regular? Just a whatever amethyst. Okay, cool. Moving on. Hello? Are there any dead in here? If you are, please rise from your grave so that I may put you back in them. Hello? Hello? Nani? Alright, come on. Come on. Where's my boss fight? Hold on. Busy looting. Oh, it's about time. Rah! Rah! Woo! I love the slow-mo.
You face the power of the Eldar.
Oh! Look at me. Look, I'm an absolute champion. You can't hurt the ranger now. Oh, oh. Bubble of happiness. Bubble. I don't get to tell her or him how to spec their build. So she better be specking heals. Bubble better be better be packed. Where you go? Oh, big boys.
It's time to put an end to
Oh, that was kind of sad. Ooh, big bone chest. Also bone chest. Bone pile. Arrowstone amulet, huh? 17 will? But will? How much will do I even have right now? 13? Son of a bitch. I have so little will. Oh, where are they coming from? Come on, get. Yeah! Ooh, ooh. Oh, chat, I remembered to mute before I sneezed. I'm a champion. Oh my god. Oh my god. Boom. And stay. Ow! Dad, I was having a moment. Right, this asshole. Boom. Suffer my wrath, peasant. I cut off what makes you special and unique. Your head.
Servants of the enemy, beware!
Do the thing. There's this thing.
No enemy missiles can pierce this shield.
Fool! Come on. Okay. Alright. Do you think are there any, like, medieval zombie tales? Like, do you think that kind of medieval Europe could survive a zombie apocalypse? You think that's possible? You have what it takes? Oh, who's surprised by this? Boom! Oh, I'm like one-shotting with that big move. Yeah! Waya! Get some! Woohoo! Don't need that, do you? Didn't think so. Oh, I totally leveled up. I don't wanna, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's see. Are there any, like, passives over here? Not really. You need makeshift. That's a different game entirely. Go! Can't get me, I was in an animation. Iframes, baby. Ooh, and another one. Ugh! Booyakasha! Oh, you thought you were special, but you're not. You're normal. You're fucking normie.
Servants of the enemy, beware!
Beautiful. I feel kind of bad because my two little companions there, they both do like AoE buffs for the team. And then I do jack shit for the team. I'm like a leech. Hey, kitty. Oh, she's playing with her tail. I'm not even killing goblins, man. I'm killing zombos. That's all I was asking. I was asking about medieval people, if they could survive a zombo attack. I'm killing zombos right now. I'm in the graves. I'm in the tombs, the crypts, the barrow downs. Festa with death. Yeah. Claustrophobic. And muted with pain, regret, and the hunger for life. These creatures know only death, yet pursue life's great embrace with unending fury and dedication, never, ever achieving it again. I don't know what there is now. I mean, come on. Obviously, this is canon.
Here, to me if you
How did I...
healing.
Jackass, you were supposed to get... Ah, his head's gone! Still going, though. Still making moves. I'm coming for that ass!
That'll teach you to
Yeah.
kill the Rangers.
Dodge! Dark Souls! That was kind of sad. That was a kind of awkward little fight I had there.
You're no match for me.
Look at that little idiot crawling on the floor. I just one-shotted him in the face.
This will strike you down.
Woohoo! Yeah, don't even with my awesome freaking whatever that's called. You know better. You know I'm wearing it for protection. It's got the good stats. I have to wear it. You guys having fun down here? Let me just... Wow, look at that. Oh! Goddamn! Yeah! Oh, he's going! He's going! He's making a run for it! Catch him! Legolas! Kill him! Kill him! Oh. Gotta flip it on its underside and attack for massive damage. Ooh, new hat. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of defense. I'm letting the buffs get a little out of hand. It's time to move on. Oh, double smack! That was awesome teamwork. High five, Farron. All right, whatever. Hey, look at all these shields that I'm never gonna use. Two-hand build, chat. Two-hand build. Fucking strength build, son. Ugh. I gotta get hounded by this asshole all day. No, it's Farron. Come on, not all dwarves. Don't be like that.
You face a Ranger now.
Farron, get me up.
I was sure
Good work, Farron.
it's good to be wrong.
Wah! Off with your head. Ow! 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 My ass!
Enter the sphere of light and be healed.
Oh! Just had a rock party in my booty hole. Holy crap! Stay in the bubble. Stay in the bubble. Ow! Hey! You can't know! Okay, so the bubble doesn't work against rocks. Nothing works against rocks. Rocks are broken AF. OP.
Rescue our
Please ban. Please nerf.
Back on your feet. We have an
Stop
enemy.
crawling away from me, Farron. I'm trying to.
I'm in your debt.
Hey. I'm gonna shoot you in the nard drops there, bud. I'm gonna fill you with arrows. Oh, this is okay. Ah! Oh, he's dead. No, he's not even going for me. Get wrecked. Ow! Rocks! Not again! My only weakness! Not getting far without their leg. Oh, this asshole in the rocks. Now he's hiding behind. Oh God! That hurt. Burn! Shoot! Help! Everybody, shoot the white. Or the no, it's white. Ow! Jerkwad. Ah! All right. Such gameplay. Such mini boss. Ooh. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. No, it's just some dead guy with a stick. His name is Barrow White. But then we fought like 5 of them.
It's time to put an end to you!
Now, idiot, he came over here. He made the fatal mistake. The fool. You see, he's just some asshole that he's just some rockomancer. That's all he is. Jerkwad. Ooh. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I just ripped ass. In case you needed to know. I mean, you might have wanted to hear that. Dual-layered forlorn helmet! Dual-layered forlorn helmet! Safety. Alright. I'm gonna give this to Baron just in case. I'm never gonna use that shield because strength build. Get on my level. Fortunately, I don't really care for that. Yeah, I know what I'm all about. What do you get? This is just the crap that I stuck in the portal. Lore Master pants. Yeah. I should be nice and buy my friend's pants. Here you go. Give to Andriel. Alright, boys and girls. You ready? Hail, friends! It's time for danger. Oh, no. That was nothing. Ah! Yeah! Okay. You face the Dunedain! Freaking pot. Stop it with the weird xylophone nonsense. I'm not playing that game with you. Uh-oh. That looks like one of the people I'm here to find. Well, hot damn. Ah!
Lewin, he lives. Can you hear me, Lewin? Awake.
No. this sickness? What good are swords in the face of this plague? What in the name of... Eridan?
Yes, it's me, my friend.
I have been dreaming.
As you awoke, you said something about a plague. What did you mean?
Look at my cool hood.
I don't know. It was as if I was someone else. I remember a plague and despair.
The Great Plague. Nearly 300 years ago, it devastated the Dunedain of this region. You were sharing the dreams of those for whom this tomb was made.
Well, let those dreams remain with the dead. I want no more of them.
How did you end up in this burrow?
I recall we were making good speed through the downs.
Making good
To
speed.
our friends, but a fog began to rise and it became hard to find our way. We began to hear voices calling to us, as if from far off, or else underground. And then the dead were all around us. We fought them, but then I felt the presence of something else, something stronger, more evil. I saw a shadowy figure seize hold of Kalaran and he fell senseless.
You were weak. Your will was weak.
But if I was brought living into this tomb...
That's what we intend.
Yes, I think I can keep...
Let's go before any more...
Yay, 4 party. Party of 4! Eh. Oh, man, you know what sounds really good is like a fucking hamburger. Like a real hamburger. I want to go get some Five Guys or something. That sounds good. Sounds good. Just, you know, the type of hamburger that's given to you in wax paper, but not wrapped completely. Wrapped on one end so you can start digging into that thing with a mild amount of cleanliness. Who? Somebody just twinged something at me? Well, I have to break all of these, okay? There might be secrets in them. I don't think you understand how important it is that I shatter all of these ancient artifacts of a long-forgotten people that are, in fact, my ancestors. Silver ceremonial dagger. Yes! Yes! Time for the human sacrifices! Woo! Die, filth. Uncle Barry? Oh, smack! Oh, man. Just the force of some of these hits. Hi! Ow! 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 It's a nice sword. Hey! Thanks for following. Appreciate it. How are you doing? Back in the bubble! Back in the bubble! The bubble of safety. Love and happiness lives within the bubble. Hey! Thank you for the host. It's very kind of you.
Servants of the enemy, beware!
You face the Dunedain now! We're dead Dunedain, say the zombies. Oh no! Aunt Marie? It is me! Oh! I'm just pointing that out because this is a tomb full of dead Dunedain, and I am a Dunedain. Twice now killing. Ooh, great sword. That probably means it's two-handed. You can add me as a friend on there if you look up Infamous Insano. You probably find it. Okay, we gotta see it. Oh, baby. So, okay, so its top end's a little lower, but because the low end and the top end are only 10 power, it's more consistent, but by God, it has plus 40 power. I think I'm gonna try it. It looks cool. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Look at it, chat. Look. Watch. Ah! So consistent. That's what it is. The variable is gone. Go Kim Tiger. Nice name. Ah! Come on, chat. Look, he's there.
It's Kalaran.
What in the name of the mummy?
What's happened to him?
Oh, the zombie!
Oruk-hai controls him. Defend yourselves. We must strike him down.
That was nice.
A friend.
I will be 30 this year.
Who is dead? This is but a cruel trick. Defend yourselves.
Ah! Come on, you could have given him some good name, Borrow White Lord. Get it. Get it. Couldn't you call him... Oh, you got him... Necroferus, Lord of the Barrows. Ah! Ah! Kick my friend's ass! Kick his ass! He's not our friend anymore, I think. Probably not. We haven't investigated zombies very well. Oh, he's got the ups. He's got sick ups. Do the... Okay, now he's gone. Oh. Oh, baby. We do... Come on. Ah! Ow! Oh, he just blew me in the bubble. He's an idiot. You're an idiot! Ow! Can I block that? Ah! That doesn't really work. Oh, I guess I'm probably supposed to be behind these pillars. Yeah! 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 Oh, you think you're gonna... One shot. Uno mas.
Time to put an end to you!
Like a freaking Nazi killing boss. I don't know. I didn't mean to say Nazis necessarily. But hey, might as well be Nazis. Look at them. Look at what they're doing.
You're no match for me!
Yeah, you guys keep that up. I gotta loot the... I found some loot. And you know me. You know how I am about that loot. Ah. You guys getting it done? Come on. I mean, come on, get it done. I know you guys must be working very hard, but I just, you know, I'm not seeing the results.
This will strike you down.
Ta-da. Kill my friend. Kick his ass! No, keep on! Keep it up, guys. Oh. We had a few more smacks on him, and we all were hitting like hell. It would have worked. Woo! Dodged it. Sick dodge. Sweet dodge, bro. Sweet dodge. Stupid White Lord. Let me take a sippy, get my powers back. Oh, this is such a lame boss fight because of the ads. Bane of Mordor. I got a Chivo.
Feel my wrath and despair.
Yeah. Get him! Get him! Get him! Ah! Who's that guy? Get over! Get out of here, jackwad! Yes, let's put our friend in the ground! Look at him, pathetic.
Here, to me if you need healing.
I don't want a Dunedain on my team that can't resist the White Lord. Fool. Put him down. Put him down. There we go. He's dead now. Sick loot! Loot. Loot. Oh. No!
Thing to see a good friend slain. Harder still to see his remains desecrated in this manner. But at least now he is at rest. But you, how are you bearing up?
First Black Riders, now Barrow-wites. This is more than men should have to contend with.
You've been through a terrible ordeal. Perhaps you should come with us to Rivendell. Or we could take you to Bree. It's not far away.
No, I feel my strength returning. I'll soon be myself again. Then I will bear Kalaran's body away from these tainted tombs. He should be buried with the rest of his brothers who fell at Sarn Ford.
That would be fitting. I hope that he will rest in peace. Farewell, Lewin.
Oh, Lewin. Ooh, come on. Yeah, there we go. Ring of Great Hall. Request 20 Will! Damn it, Will! Got new gloves. Bowmaster set, huh? Oh, hell, they're better. So I'm going to put them on. Keep an eye out for Bowmaster set. If it ever shows up. If anything ever shows up. Alright, what was I doing before? Alright, hey. Was I okay, I did that already. Alright, chat, look at us go. We defeated a supernatural demon. Fucking Aragorn never did that. Oh no, I spilled my ice. When the hell did I get here? There he is. Oh, it's him. Chat, look, it's Aragorn. Oh.
Eradan, it is good to see you safe.
And Agent Smith.
Eradan and Elro here told us of your actions at Fornost. Such courage and skill brings honor to all.
Oh, that's Aragorn. It's not me.
Indeed. It is an honor to welcome one so brave
Oh
to
my
home.
God, that's nowhere near his voice.
I am grateful for what you did at Fornost. If Agandar's forces had joined in the hunt, there is little chance that I and my charges would have made it here to safety.
I thank you for the welcome. Are you the master of these halls?
Yes, I am Elrond Half-Elven, Lord of the Refuge of Imladris, or as you know it, Rivendell.
Oh, they definitely kind of tried. Man, oh. His face is, they've tweaked his face just enough so that it's not Agent Smith. And then his voice is just crap.
Half-Elven. What does that signify?
Both my sire, Earendil, and my mother, Elwing, had fathers who were of the Edain, the most noble of the men of old. They and their descendants are called the Parenthil, which means the Half-Elven.
Wow, that's some blank delivery.
Are you then of mortal kind, like other men?
To each of the Parathil is given a choice, whether to become mortal or to accept the life of the Eldar, the Elves. Long ago, I chose to be counted among elven kind. My own children will face this choice as well.
I'm glad to see you made it here in one piece, Aragorn.
Now that the pleasantries are over.
I have no idea why your mission was so urgent.
I think it is time
Ah!
we told our newfound friends what they have gotten themselves into.
That might be Ian McKellen.
Gandalf, so you are involved in this as well?
Indeed. Wherever there is trouble and strife and the enemy is stirring, there you will find Gandalf the Grey.
Well then, can you explain why the enemy is so eager to get his
I
hands
don't
on the
think it is, but I think it's close.
You have more than earned such an explanation. Tell me, what do you know of Isildur's Bane?
Yeah, maybe if he says that, then we'll know.
Isildur's Bane. That is another name for the Ring of Power.
Quite right. The Ring of Power. The One Ring. The ruling ring. After lying lost and nearly forgotten for centuries, Sauron's ring has once again been found.
Do you mean to say the halfling Aragorn rescued has come into possession of the Dark Lord's ring?
My God.
Small wonder the Dark Lord sent his deadliest servants to search for it. What will become of the ring now?
There is no safe resting place for the ring. Not even here in Imladris. It is a danger to all who come near to it.
This guy
There's only one course
is
left to us.
flat.
The ring must be destroyed.
To do so, the ring will need to be cast into the same
On my axe!
in which it was forged. Those of Mount Doom, in the land of Mordor. The hobbit, Frodo Baggins, has agreed to take it there.
You're not going to send a hobbit off to Mordor alone.
Surely not.
Certainly not. A fellowship will be formed. A fellowship of 9.
It should just be Infamous Insano and or Infamous.
Sauron's 9 Black
That's all it is.
Among this fellowship will be representatives of all the free peoples of the world. Elves, dwarves, and men. Aragorn and I will both be going.
What can the rest of us do to assist you?
The Nazgul and Agandaur are dire threats. We must learn all we can of their movements before the Fellowship is to depart. Scouts will be sent out in every direction to scour the lands around Rivendell.
Can I have your sword?
This would be of great
I bet Aragorn's sword is so good.
Where should we start?
Agandaur is our chief concern. Although the Nazgul are powerful foes, their mission here in the north is abundantly clear. We can only guess what Agandaur may be planning, or where he went after he escaped from you.
I suspect he may be planning to move against us here.
I got this guy.
Hatred of the elves
Dun 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 dun.
his defeat during the War of the
Dun dun
Last
dun 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 dun.
If it is strength he wants, he may well find it among the Etenmoors.
You know that region better than I. What can you tell me of the Etenmoors?
The Etenmoors are a
Why
spur
not
of the
us
Misty
tell
Mountains
us
lying almost directly north of
of the
Rivendell.
Etenmoors?
It is a wild region of very rugged terrain, home to many trolls and giants.
I myself was in the Etenmoors, but
Haven't seen him yet.
I saw no sign of Agandaur's presence. But neither did I encounter trolls. That fact alone is troubling. It could be that they are gathering in force, somewhere among the moors.
If so,
I did
it's
spillage.
best we learn of it before they can take us by surprise. We will scout the Etenmoors to see what we can discover.
Oh man, I want some popcorn.
From Aragorn and Elrond's sons.
That'd be nice.
I expected no less. Still, you have had a long road and hard fighting to get this far. Take what time
Aragorn's
you need to rest and
son?
recover before you set out.
Or is he saying sons as in like
This place
just
for the
kin?
unprepared.
The hospitality of my house is
Yeah, I
yours
think he's just saying it.
for as long as you wish.
So we're not going, right? We're just gonna stay here. Like we're just fucking hang out here, right? We're just gonna. He's right over there, but he's got big ears, so I gotta be quiet. We're just gonna hang out here, right? Why the hell would we go? Told us we could stay as long as we wanted. Just stay, man. Gandalf, baby.
Ah, Eredon. It is good of you to seek me out.
For years, I've patrolled the Shire at Aragorn's orders. I worry it may not be safe for me to abandon that duty.
Aragorn knows where you are most needed, Eredon. With the flight of the ring in this direction, the enemy is looking this way and has forgotten the Shire for now. For now. But eventually his eye will turn once again toward the Shire, as humble as it is. Hobbits as miserable slaves would please him far more than hobbits happy and free. And there is such a thing as malice and revenge. Sauron will leave the final devastation of the Shire to his servant Agandaur. And that is yet another reason why you must fight.
At Fornost, one of the great eagles came to our aid. Perhaps the eagles could help with the ring.
I don't fault you for thinking.
Couldn't you just fly on the eagles and drop the ring in the volcano?
Far out to the west, and drop the ring into the deepest part of the sea.
Or the volcano?
At Elrond's council. But there are many things in the deep waters. And
Just
seas and lands
throw it in the volcano.
I cannot think of
Have an eagle fly Frodo directly to Mount Doom.
Indeed. So simple is that. You think so mighty a creature as one of the great eagles could simply waft into Mordor and escape the eye that never sleeps?
Yes!
No.
I do!
All the eagles of the Misty Mountains could stand against Sauron and the full power of his ringwraiths. It would be folly,
But they totally do that in the movie!
Take orders
They
from
totally do that! Aren't you an idiot, Gandalf? We watched it. They kill him in the movie. Sorry. Can't help it. I love. Have you ever seen the how it should have ended? That so good. So good. Do you imagine if we had walked here? It should just be something like that. Or with a space. Yeah, I think it's with a space. All capitals with a space. Do that. Should be there. I don't know. If it's not showing up, then I don't know how to help you with that. Because that's what it is. It's what it is on everything. Even the stream. Gondor.
Well, I know nothing of that.
That would make him...
Who can say? The elves. This is his dark.
I just kind of want you to give me like some really good sword or something. Like, you know? Like, hook me up, man. Like, I know I just got this one, but... Chat, look.
Welcome, Aradan. I suspected you.
How do you know my name? Oh, wait. Oh, does he get a... Can he use the things? Yes!
Welcome, Aradan. I suspected you would find your way here before long.
I found these items.
I've gathered a few artifacts of interest on my travels. I believe you might be able to help me with them.
Ah, these are work of Westernese, the lost land of Numenor. The men who forged these items were skilled indeed. You have the makings of a unique weapon here.
Yes!
Although these components were never part of a single work, I believe you have assembled everything I would need to make it.
Yes, I have!
The finished weapon would undoubtedly carry some elven qualities.
That's fine!
Only that with a work such as this, the finished product is liable to reflect the nature of the smith who assembles it. If, for example, a dwarven smith were to complete this weapon, it might possess quite different qualities from the weapon I would create.
I don't want you... Well...
I would be pleased.
Very good. I will get... There. It is finished. May this serve you well.
You have done...
I swear to God, if it's not a two-handed sword, I'm gonna be pissed. I didn't look at the... I didn't properly look at it. I didn't see what the other... No! Damn it! I wanted a two-handed sword! Who redeemed a shout-out? Was that you? Hi, T&D Makeshift. Enjoy your shout-out. Damn it! And it's so good, too. Ugh. I wanted a two-handed sword. Well... Can I go back? Can I cheat? Does this game have console commands? Can I cheat? I'm so upset. I'm fucking pissed. Damn it. There you go, Andriel. Merry Christmas. I just can't use it. Even though it's strong and powerful, it will be weak in my hands because I have spec'd into dual hands. See? I've done everything I can for two-handed. All of my stuff is two-hand skills. My one-hand skills suck ass. I am so pissed. I accidentally double-clicked and stuff, and I didn't give it time. I bet if I'd given it to the dwarf, he'd probably make it a two-handed sword. That's probably what it would have been.
Pardon my curiosity, but you don't appear to be one of Elrond's people.
No. I'm one of the woodland folk of Mirkwood.
Hello, legally distinct from
the son of Thranduil,
whatever your name is.
But I too am curious.
Orlando Bloom.
You don't appear to be one of the men of Dale, nor one of the Bjornings.
I'm Eridan, one of the Rangers of the North, the Dunedain.
Ah, one of those who follow Aragorn, son of Arathorn.
He is our chieftain, yes. But how is it that you know Aragorn in distant Mirkwood?
Aragorn is a great traveler. Although he's not a frequent guest in my father's realm.
Oh, yeah, hers
he
is the
is
same
known
thing.
and honored there all the same.
Ooh.
What brought you on such a long and perilous journey?
Unpleasant business. My father sent me to report the escape of Gollum, a creature Aragorn had entrusted to our care.
God damn.
Will you be departing for your home soon?
No. I have been chosen to represent elvenkind among the Company of the Ring. I will be accompanying the halfling, Frodo Baggins, on his journeys.
It seems strange that with so many elves in his own household to consider, Elrond chose to make you a member of the Fellowship.
I asked for the privilege, and Elrond did not refuse me. I feel he may have been relieved not to lose any of his household to this quest.
I am curious why you would volunteer for this.
Partially to make amends for the loss of Gollum, but more so because this will be the final chapter in our long struggle against the darkness. And I wish to have a hand in our final victory. Or at least, to stand in the forefront of our last act of defiance.
May fortune favor your fellowship in the days ahead, Legolas.
Yes, yes, yes. Look, guys. It's Aragorn's lady friend. There she is. Oh my God, there's a hobbit. I found one. There it is. I found him. Oh, baby. It's kicking off. Oh, Frodo McBaggins.
Hello. You are Aradan, aren't you?
Hello, Elijah.
I would get a chance to speak with you.
And you are Frodo Baggins. Aragorn and Gandalf have told
Good
me
old Elijah Woods.
your burden.
Likewise, they have told me.
Look, he's got some like hologram hair.
Thank you and your friends for all you did to keep us safe on our journey to Rivendell.
You are most welcome, Frodo. It is only now that we have learned just how important our task was. I am pleased we were able to help.
It seems as if I owe everyone thanks. You, Aragorn, Elrond. Without the help of each of you, I wouldn't be here.
It is we who should thank you. To have come this far through so many perils shows a great deal of courage.
Thank you for saying so, but I don't feel brave.
Courage comes in many forms, Frodo. Of your own free will, you have chosen to bear the ring into Mordor.
Good old Frody.
You may well be the most courageous person I have ever known.
I'll try to bear that in mind. I only hope I can measure up to everyone's expectations.
The ring is mine.
I have a strong feeling you will. In the meantime, you should rest and recover your strength.
Friend to the ring bearer. There he is. There's the big boy. Oh my God, is this just story time? Is that all we're doing now? Is that all we're... Hey, it's the twins. Yeah. Hold on. I want to know. War in the North. Artifact. Weapon. Two-handed sword. Oh. Okay. It doesn't seem to have mattered. Because either way, the thing gets made. It sounds like all the options are much better suited for the two people that I am not. So Because the other option for her was a staff, which is what I would have given her, and then the other option for him is like is something that sounds like a hammer for two, but it was probably two-handed anyway. Anyway, I'm just gonna imagine that my mistake was not horrendous and game shattering in a way that I will regret for years to come, and just move on with my life and imagine greatness lines up ahead of me. Gimli, baby.
I thought it rare to find one dwarf so far from home. Yet here is another. If I may say, there's something about you that reminds me of my companion Farin.
It's that you're a dwarf.
Son of Gloin, at your service. Your eyes serve you well, Ranger. Farin is indeed a kinsman of mine and a most valiant dwarf. And if I may say, your own fame has gone before you. You fought well at Fornost, and I hear much praise of your exploits. Most impressive, though of course you had Farin's help.
Yes, yes.
I must concede the usefulness of a dwarf in battle. He wields his weapon to good effect, as long as he stays clear of my knees.
Useful? I dare say you'll find him more than useful. Why, he's a hero of the Battle of the Five Armies. Men, elves, and dwarves against orcs and goblins. And many an orc has felt the caress of his axe.
So soft.
Farin said no word of other kin coming to join him. What brings you here to Imladris?
Aye, it's a long march from the halls of Erebor, but grim news goes on swift feet. It was for Bilbo's sake we came, with a warning that the servants of Sauron wished to find him and his ring. Thrice a Black Rider came to the front gate of Erebor, demanding news of Bilbo, and threatens to return once more. Ere that should happen, King Dain sent my father, Glóin, to seek the advice of Elrond. You've heard the results of the council? I see you have. I have sworn to protect Frodo upon his quest, an oath I will fulfill though all the orcs of Middle-earth...
Dude, he looks rough. He looks rough. He's been... There's something in his pipe that is not just tobacco.
Not soon enough for my liking. Elrond is sending scouts many leagues in all directions, and we will wait for their news. They search for signs of any Nazgul that may have survived the flooding of the river. And there are other threats besides, as you well know. My heart forebodes that the north is not safe.
Elrond has asked us to scout the Edenmoors. But what is it that worries you about the north?
I like not what I've heard of this Agendaur you drove from Fornost.
Agen power.
Grief untold. There are rumors of gatherings of orcs, goblins, and other deadly foes growing in strength. When the Dark Lord strikes, there will be more than one land that feels his wrath. I fear for the Shire and Rivendell. It would ease my heart to know that you'll look to the defense of the North for as long as you're needed. With help from Farin, of course.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have a choice.
You have my word on it. And I have no doubt your trustworthy kinsman and Andriel will stand by my side.
And my axe! This is just a moment of calm before the storm. Moment of calm. Hey, did this guy sell anything? Do you actually, like, sell stuff?
Welcome, Eradan. I suspected...
You can just fix my stuff and repair, I guess. I'll take that. That's at least something. Barely even use that damn bow. This. The rings. Pants. Shitty pants.
Welcome, Eradan. I suspected...
Are you seriously gonna say that every single time?
What task are you working?
My fellow smiths...
What do you mean by...
Simply that certain objects have inherent virtue. Sadly, appropriate gemstones have become difficult.
Perhaps I can help you with that. I will be traveling soon.
I would be pleased to have your help. I will provide you with a list of the types of gemstones that are of the greatest value to me.
Damn it, I sold a shitload of those.
I am certain I could create something that you would find useful. But
a two-handed sword?
Gemstones must be of the highest quality. Fortunately, we have as a guest a dwarf of the Lonely Mountain. Glóin is his name, and he is skilled in the appraisal of gems of all sorts.
I should be going.
What? Who's the shop? I'm not talking to Aragorn's girlfriend. Busy. I'm busy. Oh, who are you?
Welcome, Dunedain. Welcome to Lotr.
Yes, you're the person I want to talk to. There we go. Get rid of that. Just rip off the band-aid quick. Sell unessential items. Buy. Whoa! Masterwork quality headpiece. Hey, there we go. That's what I want. I'm just gonna cheat my way. There we go. These are better than what I've got. Why not? Sentinels. Whoa! Hot damn. Sure. Dibs. Alright. Double-handed sword. Double-handed sword. Two-handed sword. Wait, those are the ones I sold you. Don't try to sell me. Yes! There we go. Yeah, baby. I could use some new pants. There. Just buy everything. All for me. All from me! Yes. Yes! Yes, my power grows. Ah. By the greatness, I become godhood. And now, we put in we use the stones. Yes! Ice damage. And now, again. Who needs your special mastercraft bullcrap? I made my own! Ooh! Baby. Tell me what I want to hear.
Those who venture into the wild must be well prepared.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Yes, I can wear that now. Because I cheated my way in. Wait, hold on. Which one is it? I have become a god. I'm still off by one will to put on this other ring. What a pain in the butt. But look at me, chat. Look. I am amazing.
Well, friend,
yeah, you're not that important.
I heard it does my heart good to see it.
What could have been
I came at the bit with the enemies.
Aragorn has...
Alas, that we should live in such times. Well,
Where do you think
that's plain as Rivendell.
Sauron's attention...
That's my thoughts upon, and it's time to...
Elfstone's red burl.
Oh, hello again. Don't mind me. Speaking with you got me
Then you approve of Farin's...
I will speak plainly.
Yet in the battle...
You're right, of course. But we face a far more terrible enemy in the Dark Lord.
Sauron's attention...
That's my... And it's time to...
And this is the guy we're supposed to talk to about... Whatever. Bilbo! Bilbo!
Hello.
Oh my god!
Please allow me to
Oh!
introduce myself.
Oh, Bilbo!
At your service.
Eradan, at your...
Oh, Bilbo.
Always happy to meet one of the guardians.
What's
of
happened
Gondor.
to you?
I've heard about what you and your friends did to help my Frodo and the Dunedain reach Rivendell safely. You'll have to tell me all about it one of these days so I can write it all down properly.
I have heard many tales about you, Mr. Baggins. You are something of a legend.
Oh, greatly exaggerated, I assure you. Well, of course, there was the incident with facing the dragon Smaug, And I did save Thorin Oakenshield and his companions from the spiders of Mirkwood, as well as rescuing them from captivity in the Elven King's halls. Oh, yes, those were great days.
I heard
Wait, did you say
stories told of
spiders in
how
Mirkwood? Isn't that where I'm going?
Rangers kept watch over your homeland.
Most of my kin have no idea of the sacrifices others have made for their safety, but those of us who do are grateful, more grateful than I can say. I've written all about it, so perhaps they will learn about it someday soon.
The Dunedain. In the Elvish, that signifies man of the West, one of my people.
Yes, indeed, but when I say it, I mean Aragorn, of course. The Dunedain, he is often called here. A remarkable man, Aragorn, and a good friend. I almost wish that I could accompany him on his grand quest, but I'm far too old.
Can you tell me how Frodo came to be in possession of the Ring of Power?
Well, yes, that was through me, I'm afraid. I found the ring by happenstance while lost beneath the roots of the Misty Mountains. I won it, that is to say, I took it from the creature Gollum. Of course, I did not know the full story of the ring until only a few days ago. I thought it was merely a magical bauble with the power to make the wearer invisible. I only used it to avoid unwelcome visitors. Imagine that old ring of mine causing such a fuss. I would gladly take charge of it again if that would help. Oh, yes. Gladly. Yes. You know, I think it would be best if we discussed something else.
Yep. I am.
I must be on my way.
I think it's weird that they did an aesthetic change to the Master Chief's armor. I thought the armor styles in Halo 4 and Halo 5 were awesome, and I think it's weird that they kind of reverted a little bit back, but yep, I am ready. But more so because I'm all about the Halo story. I don't play much online Halo anymore. So I'm excited to see what exactly that is. And I'm desperately hoping they don't just shit out on the big thing that they left at the end of Halo 5. I dearly hope that Infinite is not some type of cop-out. That would piss me off. That would piss me off! Hail, friends. Ugh. All right. Yes. Back to beating down the brutes. Good time. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. I just don't want it. You know, I want it to really delve into the whole thing because it's. I really found a lot of the Halo story to be very interesting. Because I read the book, I read the original 3 books. I haven't really read more of them after that, but generally the idea, the background that they developed with it is really interesting to me, and I like it a lot. The idea that humans were once kind of the superpower of the galaxy and were a misunderstood superpower. They were basically the whole the mantle of responsibility of what that actually is, which is the responsibility to handle the flood, basically, is what it was. What they referred to is what the humans were doing, and it was the reason there was war is that they took it upon themselves to annihilate any instance of the flood that ever existed, and they did that to the planets of what were the Forerunners. So it's really and they were eventually beaten back, only to have the Forerunners, only for the Forerunners to see that basically they didn't fully comprehend what was happening, and yeah. And so they were reseeded on Earth and whatnot. I think it's really, really interesting and a pretty good backstory to what it's evolved out of. And so I desperately want basically as much story as they can cram into that game. But as far as I can tell, because I generally keep pretty far out of it. I don't want to be spoiled or anything. So I barely even watched. I think I've only watched like one trailer for it. And the impression I got is that it's a fair chunk of time after Halo 5. I think somebody I think I heard at some point that it was something like 10 years or something after the events of Halo 5. It's a chunk of time later. And so that kind of worried me that it would be basically that the events of Halo 5, basically the kind of the culmination that needed to happen there, are put off for that long. So, and I haven't seen much about, like, I mean, the name is obviously Infinite, and then there's the UNSC Infinity, which is basically, I guess, the main ship that got away from Cortana. And so I am duly interested in how much Lasky and the Spartan 4 system and everything that's on Infinity, how much that plays a role in the game, because a lot of the kind of teasers and stuff that I've seen don't show Master Chief interacting with that scale as much. It's much more back to, which I think is the general idea, is they went very far, all the way back to Halo 1-esque style of kind of the feel of it, is that you're much more alone than you have been before. So also 4 and 5 were great for Master Chief because you actually got to turn him into a real character. I actually saw an article that somebody written, one of those main game things. It might have been the Kotaku one or whatever. I don't really follow them, but they pop up on the news feed on Facebook, which I usually each morning I flip through that to see if anything significant has happened, just on the off chance, because obviously if something happens, it'll show up, so I can then see it and then go look up what is going on. As far as video games, that doesn't really matter. So I was reading that, and it was all about how they thought that Master Chief needed to die, that the series needed to kill off the main protagonist of the series. And they were talking about how they felt that we had enough. And I honestly disagreed with it. Because if you look at it as a whole, you have really only had 2 games of Master Chief. And the way I mean that is that in 1 through 3, Master Chief basically is a robot, which is the whole premise behind 4 and 5, is that it's an attempt to show you that Master Chief is an actual human being that has like human needs, and to delve into the trauma of his life being shattered by the UNSC and all that. And so I thoroughly disagreed with it, because it felt very spiteful the way they wrote this. It felt not very educated correctly. It came off to me when I read it as very snap decision. Like they didn't actually think about what they were writing, or that they even really knew about what they were writing. And they tried to justify it. They're like, well, I've played all of the games, I've read some of the books, and it did not, it gave me the impression that no, in fact, you have not really played the games and you've not really read the books about anything about Master Chief. Because if you'd fully comprehended the storyline of the games and the main protagonist with Master Chief, you would fully understand that in reality, you have only actually had 2 games of the character Master Chief. The other games are little more than him being a vessel for you to shoot stuff. So I really disagreed with that. I thought it was a very poor article about the game. It felt so very misinformed and that so little thought had been put into it. And they acted as if like 4 and 5 weren't the... Well, that's what they were saying, that they think he should die. That they think that he should have been, that Halo should have him basically killed off. And that they've had enough Master Chief. Not that he does die, and they didn't specify necessarily. But yeah, I read it. I just thought whoever wrote this has written this with the same energy as a 14-year-old on Facebook or on MySpace or on whatever social media saying their opinion about something without ever having actually looked into it. Like, I read the title of this week's newspaper, and that's all I needed to read to understand what they were talking about. That kind of thing. They're like, we're Master Chiefs in all of the games, so we've obviously had enough of him. You're an idiot. We finally, in the last 2 games, got to have character development with him. You got to actually humanize that guy. You got to show him on his own and how he has to... him coping with the fact that one of basically the only companion he's had over the course of years at this point, which is Cortana, regardless of whether you not think it's weird that she's an AI or not. I mean, shit, people get really attached to their dogs, and you don't begrudge them that. I'm really attached to my cat. You know? So that's just how it is. And then so you had to see him cope with the loss of that. And then finally in Halo 5, you had the in-game recognition that not all the Spartan 2s are dead, and you have him there with his family, with his real family, and you get to see them work through somewhat of the struggles of being what they are, and really what they have to go through as the Spartan 2s. And then you have this jackass come in and say, Master Chief was in 5 games. Isn't that enough fucking Master Chief? He should probably die. And it pissed me off a little bit. It kind of pissed me off. Because it was very much so that it was like, you paid 0 attention. You paid 0 attention to this franchise. And also the reason I'm getting very heated is because I've been with the franchise for about as long as I could have been. You know, yeah, you get all in, like, it's like you get all defensive, like when people say that Dragon Ball Z isn't a really good show. I have to get defensive because I love Dragon Ball Z. It's that same kind of vibe. Yeah, you like go back and watch. I mean, go back and play Halo 1, and I think like Master Chief's no shit has like 5 lines. Yeah, so he started off very much as a kind of a robot, which is heavily talked about in Halo 4. Because Halo 4 it took 4 main series games and a shitload of side series games to get to the point where they were actually going to give Master Chief humanity and character development to the point where you could actually try and emotionally connect with him as a character. And then this jackass comes along and says, We've had enough, Master Chief. He needs to die. And aside from the point, if you want to look at it in a different way, there's that one little scene in Halo 4 where the librarian talks to him about him, and she's like, Master Chief is the end point of some type of epic, long-scaling human destiny. He is destined to be what he is. It's insane. He is so integral to that game. And be honest with yourself. Like, would you fucking play a main series Halo game if it wasn't about him? That's... yeah. In Halo Infinite, I'm gonna guess he's gonna be around his I believe he will be around his mid 50s to 60s. He's an old guy. I think I'm trying to remember because I used to have this kind of mapped out, but I believe at the time of the Halo event he is in his 40s. Is roughly where he's at. And there's not much time difference between Halo 1 to the ending of Halo 3. I think it all happens relatively quickly. So yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. It's just if you kill off Master Chief, basically you have to say that you are done with Halo, full stop. And even though, like, Reach is great, and that was a great offshoot, what is the crap? Halo 3, whatever the thing is, the side story of Halo 3 where you're the drop trooper, that was fine, but you cannot maintain that franchise without Master Chief. And especially now that you're actually allowing him to be a human being and be an actual character, you know, like Halo 4, I'm pretty sure Master Chief has more dialogue, I believe, in Halo 4 than he does in Halo 1, 2, and 3 combined. I really wouldn't be surprised. I haven't looked, but I'm pretty sure it is. So, like, yeah. It's basically that, again, to this article, it felt as though the second Master Chief had to be a human being, this person said, well, that's boring. That's lame. I want to be RoboCop. Whatever, dude. Just play the multiplayer then. Be like a lot of people who don't even play through the campaign ever and just play the multiplayer. If you want to be nothing but a RoboCop, play that multiplayer. Yeah, see, now think back to it. Think honestly back to Halo 1, 2, and 3. He has nothing to say. Ever. Like, Halo 1, oh my, like, he doesn't even, let's see, like, he talks, you know, the first thing he says basically is two sentences to command Captain Keyes and Cortana, and then from that point on, Cortana talks nonstop. And then, like, the next time, honest to God, like, the next time you hear him talk is when you're in the control room of Halo, which is past halfway through the game. And then you hear him talk a little bit later when he talks to the monitor. And again, like, at the end of the game. It's nothing. He never says anything. In Halo 2, he has a little bit more, you know, but it's all single line dialogue. It's all, tell that to the Covenant. You told me there wouldn't be any cameras. I need a weapon. He is not real. He's not an actual person in those two games. In 3, it kind of tweaks a little bit better. But even still, like, the Arbiter talks so much more than him in 3. He doesn't even say anything to Sergeant Johnson when he dies. Sergeant Johnson says it all. He doesn't even say goodbye or anything. Nothing. Nada. And then finally in Halo 4, you have to hear him speak to Cortana, and he realizes that he has to actually vocalize and say the things and run the show in Halo 4. And so he speaks. And he has real dialogue, and he shows real conviction, and you get an idea of what his loyalties truly are rather than just a fucking robot. And following that, in Halo 5, you get to see how he copes with being reunited with his family, dealing with grief and loss, because he basically does the thing where he works himself to death. He does that thing that people will do occasionally when they've suffered loss, is they bury themselves in whatever their work is, and it becomes a problem later on in their life when they become exhausted and they never take time to actually emotionally rest. And you have him there with his the only people he really has as family, which is the few Spartan 2s that are left alive at that point. And he continues to develop more as a person and not just a thing. And so, again, I'm ranting a bit on it, but I mean, that's why I was really annoyed when I read this article. This person said, like, did you even try? I don't think you did. Because if you would look, if you would notice, if you would take a peek, even a cursory glance, you would realize there is next to no humanizing features of the Master Chief in Halo 1, 2, and 3. So my honest opinion is that no, we haven't had enough Master Chief, because we've really only had 2 games of Master Chief. That's it. The other games, you're little more than a mindless robot. Which is how they were built. You know, they weren't really story-driven games. So it's because 4 and 5 they delve into it's no longer a big Covenant thing. You get to see the backdrop basically of Halo that they developed, the whole who the Forerunners are and things like that. But they're good stories. They're like 4 certainly is not the best game of all of them. It's great. It was a bit, but probably it suffered just from the massive style shift that it went through. 5 is, I don't know. 5 is great. I don't see any issues, especially if you're a multiplayer person. You should probably love 5. It's incredibly blown out. There's a lot of stuff to do in 5. But yeah. Like 4, there are a lot of side things that you can collect, side notes and lore and things like that. But all of 4 is about humanizing Master Chief. That is the story of Halo 4. And then the story of Halo 5 is how the Master Chief is confronted with a challenge that is something that he cares deeply about, which is Cortana. So it's actual progression of a human's story. It's like, hey, it's basically Halo 4 is what you should have had in a story where you get a development emotionally of a character that makes you want to be attached to them as the rest of the story goes on. Like if you read a book and it just says Bob started walking down the street and you know nothing about Bob, you don't give a rat's ass about Bob. It's kind of the same thing with the Master Chief in Halo 1, 2, and 3. If you look at it as story-wide version of it, instead of just this, that he's the badass that you've been guiding through those events, is really, all you have is, and then the Master Chief shot them. There's no, how did he feel about shooting? How did he handle this specific thing emotionally? How did he feel about when Captain Keyes died? Or when he had to go off on his own without Cortana, because that was a good idea, apparently. That's what a lot of it is, until you get to Halo 4. Yeah. There's just, you're just the Master Chief. That's it. You start out as that, and basically through Halo 1, 2, and 3, the majority of what it is a lot of other people, and then the Master Chief shot them. Honestly, Halo 1 is a very linear story. Like, shoot, get off the rock. It's a lot of shooting, get off of the ring. Like, there's not much to it. It's great. I'm not saying it's not a great game. I love it. I play through it all the time. Every now and then I go back and play it. But, be honest with yourself and look at it from a story point of view. Yeah, it's very basic. It is about as basic as you can get. That is pumpkin spice coffee white girl basic of a game. The biggest thing about Halo is that it basically revolutionized the idea of the first-person shooter into the console era. That was its biggest contribution above anything, is that it's how much it affected first-person shooters. Halo 2 has a more convoluted story to it, but Halo 2's story is not about the Master Chief. It's straightforward. Halo 2's story is about human beings beginning to... It's about trying to show more scale of the conflict that you're involved in, and it's about the turning of the tide, basically, with the Covenant Civil War. It's very much not about Master Chief. And then Halo 3 is about ending the war. Again, it's not about Master Chief. Halo 3 is about ending two conflicts with one. It's the two birds with one stone is basically how you could define Halo 3's story in a way. Is that you're dealing with the Flood problem and you're dealing with the Covenant problem. All in one swoop. Again, not about Master Chief. He is nothing but a vessel to guide you through the story. If anything, Halo 3 is much more about the other characters, the other humans, and other people who have made big sacrifices next to Master Chief, rather than him specifically. Miranda Keyes, it's human side. It's very much about Miranda Keyes and Sergeant Johnson, and then on the Covenant side, it's about the Arbiter and that stuff. That's your story. And then finally, in Halo 4, you have an actual Halo game that is actually about Master Chief. So, again, the article, I think, is dumb because they have seemingly forgotten that in reality there have been only 2 Halo games out of all of them that are actually about the Master Chief. Frankly, if anybody actually needs to be killed off from the series, it would be Cortana, and she kinda was. So, there you go. Because in Halo 1, 2, and 3, you get a lot of Cortana. And that's how I feel about it. Yeah. And really, if you go the way I play them, whenever I go back and I'll just play through the entire series of them, I 1, 2, and 3 basically are just smiles for me in regards to just playing the game. It's just having a good time on remembering playing Halo 1, playing 2, playing 3, and just smiling about it. But when I get to 4, I very much slow down the way I play the game, and it becomes a lot more that I want to experience that story again rather than just shooting stuff. It's like going back and reading an old book that you love. There's the difference between, reading your textbook, which is just going through the motions, and then reading that story that you love and you just delve into it and you get lost in it. And it's the same, it's the same, not to the same extent, but it's the same with 5. Those two games are so much more story driven than action driven, and so that's why I like them a lot. But yeah, just kind of ticked me off that, like, whenever I read things like that, I look at it and go, like, you guys obviously, whoever runs this this page, this game article for Game News, whoever runs this does not have an editor. There is nobody that's peer checking your shit. You guys are just being allowed to post this. Yeah. That's why it's annoying, is somebody was just like, bleh. And to be fair to them, a lot of their articles that I read, well, I shouldn't say that. I don't read much of them because most of them look stupid from the onset. But a lot of them are opinion-based articles. So, but even then, I feel like you should read it and then be like, dude, this sucks. This article sucks. You're an idiot. Because yes, you can have an opinion. Everybody's allowed to have opinions. But your opinion starts to fall apart as soon as somebody starts to ask you about it in depth, and you reveals that you might have been a moron. Which I feel is what happened with this guy. What somebody should have said that. Somebody should have read this article and said, "You're a moron. This makes no sense. Go back and write something else." So yeah. And most of those articles, I avoid them because of their titles, because it's always something like, Fortnite's new skin just came out and I am loving it. And that culture thing that exists where it's that all the time, I don't like it. And it's not specifically just like Fortnite. Which, you know what? That's the thing that really should die. Let's be honest with ourselves. Fortnite needs to stop. As a game, there's nothing wrong with Fortnite. As a culture, there's so many things wrong with Fortnite. And that's why it needs to stop. Oh, God. It's not the game per se. I got no problem with the game. It's the people who play the game. They have generated this horrid, like, you mad bro culture. And it's disgusting. It's gross. It's slightly sticky. And it gets on your shoes. No, don't want any of that. Like, that needs to go away. That needs to hit the bin. You know, like, it's starting to feel like Saw. You know, when you hear there's like Saw 3 and you're going, they're still going, and then almost a week later it felt like you were like, what, they're on 6? What are they still making that movie for? Yeah. You just have the good decency to stop. As for Halo, in regards to the Master Chief, now is not the time to stop. I would not be mad if... I don't think he needs to die, but I would not be mad if the Halo series comes to an end after this one, after Infinite. I would not be upset. If they solidify the ending and they allow it to be a legitimate ending to the series, I won't be mad. I won't say, "Oh, dude, I want another Halo, dude." I won't. I will be okay with it. Because yes, truly, the series has gone on a lot. There is a lot of Halo. The issue I had is that this person seemed to feel that we had enough of Master Chief, which we have not. You don't even know who he is. Up until Halo 4, the only way you could ever know who he was is if you read the books, which I'd be willing to bet that most of the people who play Halo do not even know there are Halo books, like actual novels, not just like strategy guides or something like that. So, yeah. Yeah, we need some fresh stuff. It'd be like, it'd be kind of on the same vein of me saying that Kratos should have died at the end of God of War, because we've had so many games, so many God of War games now. I mean, like there is Kratos does not really have a character arc up until the most recent one that came out. Like, you just... Yeah, I mean, it's coming to its end. It really is. And I would be okay with it if it ended. I'd rather it end on... I really hope that Infinite is good, is a great game, and if it ends there, it would be perfectly fine. End on a high note. Go out on a good note. Perhaps, I don't know, on the third game that you've actually been able to create the main player character. Like, no shit. Honestly, like, Master Chief says more to the Arbiter than he does to almost any other human. It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah. I do get the impression that it's going to be the end, just because of the titling that they've gone through. Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo Infinite. It's not Halo 6. So, and it gives the impression, it really does give the impression that this is the last one that they're going to do, at the very least in the main story. So this is probably the last Halo game where you will have Master Chief as the playable character. So, I mean, it probably is, but the idea that I'm getting from it is that if Halo exists from this point on, if Halo exists from this point on, I believe it will, in any type of story context, it will be not involve Master Chief, or there won't be there won't really be new Halo games, and it will just be a constant update of Halo multiplayer systems. It'll be like Destiny, where like you just release a whole new chunk of the game that makes the post chunk superfluous, and then you just keep going. So like everybody picks up Halo Infinite, and then you basically have Halo Infinite multiplayer that lives on for just about ever, and just not the story. That's going to be my best guess. If I'm going to give it any guess, I'm going to guess that the main storyline of Halo, i.e. the one that follows Master Chief, is going to be ending in one way or another in Infinite. However, the multiplayer aspect of Halo will be continually released in some form or another. Probably in the form of like side games with minimal story to it. That's probably what's going to happen. Which is fine. But don't come in here and tell me that we had enough Master Chief because you had to play 2 games where he actually developed as a character. Oh my god, was that hard? Like reading? That's the type of stupid I get. Like, this is the type of person that that finds it annoying when a door is not pull and is instead push, but they tried to pull and therefore were slightly made embarrassed and then demanded that it should have been a pull door. Like that's the impression I get. Like, this person's an ass. And this person, you know, this person would rage at a barista at a Starbucks if they didn't have exactly what they want. Yeah, it's really, yeah, they the way they presented was so very back of the class skimming. Like, yeah, I read the book, and really all they did was technically read the words, but they had zero comprehension of it. Nothing. Because it didn't interest them. But I bet, you know, like the second some article on their favorite little magazine comes out, and they'll read that till the end of time. Like, yeah, I read the books, and then I spent I spent about 2 hours going over the books, reviewing those, and then following that, I picked up Esquire magazine. You know, the ones that don't even have plastic covers; they're like paper covers. And I picked that up and I read that for a while because it had gossip on the Queen. It was talking about Angelina Jolie's latest shoe wear. I don't even know if this is man or a woman. I'm just saying, this is the kind of stuff. Speaking of fashion things, I saw I had an ad pop up or whatever in in my little news feed that I mean literal news feed, as in like these are supposed to be. It's like I flip through it. It's like Washington Post, CNN, Fox. I look at all of them through there, and one of them was from a fashion type of news thing, and their big headline, their big thing for that day was Angelina Jolie wore a plain white t-shirt to do some shopping. That was it. That was all. And I opened it. I was generally curious. I read it. It was about 2 paragraphs long. And guess what? They didn't include a fucking picture of the t-shirt. I was livid. I was livid. Absolutely over the moon with fury at how dumb that was. And even more so that I wasted life on it. Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Like, that's just horrible. I can't. Yeah. I can't. It was just. I told my mother about. I'm like, Mom, listen to this. This is the big news in the fashion industry this week. Angelina Jolie wore a plain white t-shirt to do some shopping. That was it. That was all of it. That was every little ounce of it. Slurp up that gossip. Slurp it. World we live in. I don't know. Lots of things I kind of just skim over. Like most things that happen in politics and stuff, I just like, because it's all the same stuff. You know, just like, what are you? What? I could do a better article on fashion than that. But yeah, I like to look at them to see if there's anything somewhat interesting that pops up. But it's usually not. It's usually tit for tat in politics. Again, something about a t-shirt in fashion. And then I hit the game section, which might occasionally interest me, but a lot of it is opinionated bullgarbo. And it's just, I don't even know how they get their ideas for what they think is even mildly important in some of these things. Like it'll be, you'll go down and legitimately it'll be like Animal Crossing's latest update has me over the moon. Not that I don't like Animal Crossing. I didn't get into the new one that came out, and it's always something like that. It's always a title this thing has me, and my first impression when I see those things is A, why does that matter, and B, who are you? Who even are you? Your opinion means so little to me because I don't know who you are, and I have zero reason to understand who you are, especially after reading that you think Master Chief needs to die off because we have had enough of him. Alright, that's that. I need to put like rant corner on this screen. You just know this is rant corner. Yeah. And again, key takeaways. Little to almost invisible level of streamer Infamous Insano was spotted today walking through the mall. He bought nothing. Why was he at the mall? You know how weird that, have you ever noticed that that's kind of weird? If you ever walk into a store and they don't have what you want, I bet a lot of people feel this. There's sometimes a compulsion that you're like, just at least buy a candy bar or something. Like you should get something. It's sometimes really awkward feeling. It's strange feeling leaving Smith's or Al's or whatever, having not purchased anything and spent like 10 minutes in there walking around their store looking for stuff and then just leaving. Does anybody else feel that? Like when you leave, you're like, oh, I didn't find anything. And then you're sitting there, you're like, oh, I'll just buy a bag of chips. You don't even want chips. You just feel kind of compelled that you should because you almost feel like you wasted their time. Yeah. And I don't even know if it's, I haven't looked into the psychology of it or anything, but I don't think it's set up by the store. I think it's just a social construct that we've created in our own lives. It's just like, oh, it's really weird because I'll leave and people, I think it's sometimes because you like, I don't think it's really the workers. I think it's when you walk past people coming in and they look at you like you're a maniac or something like that because you don't have a bag. You walked in and walked out with nothing. You didn't even steal something. You were just there, an essence that existed. And then you left and you achieved nothing. So gooberlicious.
Stay a while and listen.
Is what I should have pressed when I went over to that screen. I know how to use words. That's what I want to use to make money in my life. Yeah, why didn't you buy it? Why didn't you buy something, you ass? Look, there's a fucking sale on. Go back in there and buy 10 cans of soup, you asshole. That's what it's like. That's life. Hi, Jackie. Good job, baby girl. You say hi, baby words. Alright, that's about enough of that, because I've been ranting for about as much as I played any game or did any type of entertainment, so... Yeah. Thank you so much for the follow. I dearly appreciate you coming by for that. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And thank you for hosting me with one viewer. Thanks so much. I'm sorry that you couldn't find any of our Steam things. I promise I was not trying to conceal it from you. It's literally the same here as it is on PlayStation, as it is on my Switch, as it is on my Xbox. it's Infamous, Insano, and or some type of variation of that. Usually just Infamous. I don't know what the problem is. But thank you so much for coming by. I hope you had a good time. T&D Makeshift, always wonderful to have you here. Chatting me up, listening to me talk like a moron. Night Warper, thank you for popping in. I hope you got something good out of our chat about voting and politics. I hope that helps you out. Hope that perhaps maybe I said something smart enough that makes you feel better about your future when you are eligible to vote. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. You may or may not see me on tomorrow. Do not know yet. If you do, it will more than likely be in the middle of the day, not at the end of the day. So just keep an eye out. Thank you so much for coming out. I hope you had a great time. As always, the archive will be pushed over to YouTube eventually, though it will always be open here on Twitch, at least until the 2-month thing runs out and they are kicked off of the site. But they will be over there on YouTube. Hopefully, throughout this weekend, I will be able to record and begin editing and potentially have the next chapter, Chapter 9 of Star Wars Red Harvest, up and ready to go to be posted onto the YouTube channel. So if you're interested in that stuff, that's where that will be. Stay safe. It is a Friday night. Be responsible in whatever sinful activity you deem necessary for your day. Stay healthy. Stay warm, stay dry, whatever you gotta do, wherever you are. And I will see you all next time. Thank you so very much.